recording our meeting Wednesday, February 15th. Kathy, sorry about not posting the meeting info until at 6:34. That was my fault. Lacey's going to go over her notes. We'll post this shortly.
As soon as I figure out how to share. Okay. Sorry, I had too many things up and I couldn't find it.
You're
so
okay.
I don't have it. Yeah, I have to say I have it up now.
Do you have to like expand it? Sometimes mine like minimizes to this tiny box and I can't share my screen unless I maximize it. Or if you go up to meeting on your toolbar, you should be able to share.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at you guys.
Okay, so I couldn't figure out how to do that single one. Sorry.
You're okay.
That was old whenever we were in better shape. Okay, now where did that thing go? Sorry.
You're okay.
Okay. And it won't let me move it. What the hell? Okay. So I honestly didn't get to a ton of things, but whenever I was reading the questions, where are they? Like, so every, the bold is the question. Some of them I wasn't real sure if y'all thought that it was a good.
Yeah.
Obviously, I started a little bit later just because I had so much doctor stuff going on earlier this week. But I'll finish it up tonight and probably tomorrow after my appointment. So before 5 tomorrow for sure. But I guess I kind of wanted a little bit of like your ideas too as to what I needed to aim towards. So I said yes, that this was a good approach.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gave a little bit, like I took some from the website that she listed right there for the assignment. So they named out like the 4 types of violence, which I figured would be a good thing as to why we said yes, because it is a main type of workplace violence, because it falls under the personal relationship one right here. So Adam, I started the quote here and I left it down here.
Okay, yeah, no, I see that.
Yeah, okay, so that's all from this place. That's the link she gave us. So I said yes, and I just said why here because it spills over. And then I took a little bit right here, kind of from from lower on in that webpage, but I haven't honestly gotten to go through the entire page yet. So I just said a little bit more on like why, and I just put some quotes in there as to something that we could use for our reason.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Lacey. I read through it and kind of looked through some of those websites as well for this week. And I kind of felt the same way. I think I saw the same thing and actually was like, oh, that would be good to include those different types of workplace violence. But overall, yeah, I mean, I think that it was a really detailed approach. I kind of find it hard to believe that much was done in that case scenario.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I would love if I was in that situation for all of those things to occur.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm not sure how often. I feel like the third question would be more likely, because if the guy's got a gun and you tell all the coworkers, I feel like you're going to scare everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know if y'all do think that, yes, it's a good approach.
I agree it's a good approach. I think in like what were the next questions? If you scroll
so second,
you didn't have a security guard?
Yeah. So,
Shouldn't that just be like hire a security guard?
I didn't know. Sorry, y'all.
No.
He just came back from riding the bike and they heard the garage door open, so they were gonna bark for a minute.
Okay.
So yeah, if you don't have a security guard, so whenever she gave us like the financial assignment, she kind of gave me a lot of crap about me saying that I would dwindle down the employees because I don't know how many are there and all that. So I kind of worried a little bit about saying hire one because we don't technically know the finances of this company.
Oh, right.
So I wasn't sure how y'all would feel about it. And so, I mean, like I text both of y'all and it's like the second that I thought about, like whenever I was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to have these done. And whenever I started reading them, I was like, well, would that be the same thing? Like, would she kind of not be approving of that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could say, like, if we had the funds available, I guess, what would you do in a similar situation if your agency does not have security guards? Or maybe say, reassess our funding to set aside salary money to hire a security guard, or other ways. Like, I feel like if you're in a similar situation and you don't have security guards, something that we could do would be to talk to the male staff and just ask if one male staff member can escort every woman out to her vehicle at the end of her shift, so that it doesn't single out that individual who's in this situation and doesn't make people question and get scared. But, say make like a rotation for male members to walk the girls out to their vehicles and make sure that they get into their cars okay at the end of it. I think the idea of
Like a self-defense training. Did they do that in this one?
I don't think they mentioned it, but I think that would be another good resolution. Bring someone in to do a self-defense training with your just everyone. Also, if the individual is comfortable letting other people, like letting her coworkers know that she's being stalked or something, sharing the photo or a description of what the guy looks like so people are aware. I know that's something that they said they did with the security guards, but we could just say sharing a description or photo of the individual with the staff. Was this in a hospital, right?
I don't think it actually said where it was.
This happened at my old work one time, and they just put a picture. They didn't really tell us anything. One day I just walked in, and they just had a picture of some guy up, and they said, if he's on the premises, call the police. We didn't have security either.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We didn't do any of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like this would not occur at my job, but
Right.
No, I don't know that would, I mean, but this one is like a federal plan that she gave us, so maybe they do.
Yeah, so it could be.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's more legalities there, so I'm sure they have to focus on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so vehicle information, and then just say contact the police if you see him or something.
Okay.
Maybe just redo whatever their standard security awareness training is. Do an update. Chill, Tom. Sorry. Do an updated version of their security awareness training. Like ours is just like a video that we have to watch, but it's like, in this situation, if you see a suspicious character lingering by the door, do not let them in. Like,
well, like the code silver or whatever it is.
Yeah, like make sure, reiterate to people, like, don't let individuals through doors who don't have a badge that they're not supposed to come into. Like,
For sure. This paper's a lot different than the other ones we've written. It's more like kind of opinion based, I guess.
yeah, I feel like it is. Yeah, I would say just maybe, Lacey, like just look at those other websites too and just see if there's any other information that we could just support these kind of opinions with on top of what you have, because I think you brought in some good quotes.
I haven't really, I literally just have gone through the very beginning of the federal one, and then I've just grabbed a couple from the chapter in the book on this. So I haven't even gotten to the others yet, so I'll add stuff in there just for supporting evidence kind of thing. But I did see in the book there is a whole thing on like management and delegation, so that might be like a good spot for the male staff thing to like escort the females. So I'll find some quotes and go into like more detail on that. I did make a whole, I mean, I'm not going to read it because y'all can read, but I didn't know how y'all felt about that, because in my personal opinion, I feel like the whole gun part would scare the employees, but it sounds like in this scenario, it actually benefited the whole situation because they were more willing to help. So I kind of feel like we should continue on the path of that particular situation. And so I said a little bit about it, but I didn't know how y'all felt or if y'all wanted me to go in a different direction.
No, I'm reading it right now, but I like what you have.
Yeah, I like that too.
Is that the next question? Would that apply to the next question?
So I didn't touch the other two questions at all, and like I didn't really know what direction we wanted to go, and so I just left them. But I have all the websites, obviously. I just didn't know what direction we wanted to go, and I hadn't gotten far enough down on the other website to add things to these.
So number 3, what would you do if coworkers were too afraid of the stalker to work in the same office?
It did mention in the very top somewhere something about they offered her to work
like switch locations, right?
Yeah, or something of that nature. All of them, blah, 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 blah. Report to work on a variable schedule, but they did offer her somewhere, this part.
Yeah. I think we could probably build off that, like relocating to a different location, or also work off the other piece that was a variable schedule. So say change her shifts to be different shifts than the individuals who are scared. I don't know.
Right. These are some serious, like, ethical, there's no wrong answer, but there is.
Yeah. It's kind of...
It's kind of a hard one, but I mean, it's a valid question. I'm sure that will come up.
I mean, if they do, we don't know if they do like group work, or we don't know any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure like how to answer those, and so I didn't put anything from the book or that other page down.
I would be interested to see if the book has any supporting information or one of the websites about that specific question.
Yeah, I don't. This particular chapter she has for this week is like.
There's a lot of budgeting.
Mm.
This week, I thought it was the leadership and manager thing. Did I click on? I might be looking at the wrong chapter.
I haven't read the book reading this week, but I did look through the
I didn't read it, though I have skimmed
this
it.
week is chapter 4, leadership and manager.
Yeah, it's like different styles of leadership. So this guy is like super helpful and goes out of his way to help people. Like he's got like a plan of action and all that stuff. And like certain qualities, but I don't know. I tried to tie it in there, so I've at least got one or two quotes from them in there, and I think the delegation part would be good for the men, and we could probably add something about if it also depends on what state this is supposedly in, which I assume it would be Illinois, but and I don't know if it's like if you're free to carry in Illinois, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
I'm looking at one of these websites. Sorry to interrupt. Two things that we can put for the uncomfortable employee is create a safe room where employees can go if they're feeling distressed or just require a place to decompress. And then consider a family support liaison. It will take calls from family members who are concerned about an employee. It can help link the family member to resources or bring their concerns about the employee's wellness.
How do you spell liaison?
Liaison. And this is from...
I'm like, I don't know.
This is from the Workplace Strategies for Mental Health.com, one of the ones she gave us.
I probably have that pulled up on one of my... That is my recipe, which I haven't finished. This one. Which one was this on?
It was on... Oh, shoot. It was the very bottom link called Workplace Trauma.
This one. Okay. I will link that one for you right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I added a link for the Society for Human Resource Management in the chat too. Just for what it just said, when domestic violence comes to work, like what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't like copy this website because of the little bar at the top from the Zoom meeting. So.
Oh damn.
I know. I keep trying. Can't. So. I'll look at that one as well that you posted.
Mm-hmm.
But I just I wasn't sure what all direction we wanted to go, and I know I need like enough quotes to be able to make it to 3 to 5 pages. So I'll have to find a lot more stuff. But I wasn't really sure how to go or what direction to even go on these two. So.
Yeah, I mean, with the last one, it's really you can sign up for a notification system. Like the police is supposed to call you whenever, your abuser gets out. And so I guess you could put you could have the police sign some kind of confidentiality agreement that the police will call the supervisor if he gets out.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I worked at a domestic violence shelter for a year. They had some of that stuff to where they had to call their supervisor. Some abusers would come to the workplace, and we had bulletproof glass and stuff. It was kind of intense.
Just FYI, we only have 10 minutes left of the free meeting.
We could do reiteration of all steps, basically.
Yeah, just reiterate all steps. I would honestly, at that point, if they got out and she still felt threatened, sit down about relocation. Like I I mean, whenever to pick up and move their life, but if like you seriously did have someone stalking you, that may be your only choice.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
at that point, it's like causing the company problems.
Yeah.
Might be cheaper to relocate her rather than hire a security guard.
True. Well, yeah, I mean, you could put at that point, if we still don't have a security guards or even security system, maybe that would be cheaper, doing like videos around the premises.
Yeah.
But then you'd have to have someone who watches the videos, I guess, so it may not be cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't say that there wasn't a video surveillance though, so I wrote that up top somewhere. Enhancing the security recording measures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't really. But I can go into further detail on both of these about that, and I'll look. And I haven't even started like adding in quotes or anything like that from the other websites, so I can finish going through that main page and then add on from the other web pages.
Okay. Adam, when do you want their notes in by?
Whenever you, I mean, I think Lacey, you said you'd get them to me like tomorrow. Say what?
To today at 6:30.
No, whenever's fine. You said you'd get yours in. What did you say, Lacey? I forget what you said.
I go back to the doctor, dentist, or whatever tomorrow at 9. So I'm gonna work on this more tonight, and then I'll finish up as soon as I get done with the dentist tomorrow. So depending on how long that takes, it may be like lunchtime tomorrow, but if it takes a long time, then it might be more like 5 or so by the time I finish it.
Okay, yeah, like tomorrow night, Friday morning ish.
Yeah,
That's probably a good rule of thumb. I'll probably, if I get them Friday morning, I'll probably have the paper at least mostly done by like Friday night and add it all in and stuff. And
shoot to get it to you by tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, I would feel bad for the writer if I send it in any later than tomorrow at 5. I already feel bad because I don't have it for today.
no, that's fine because I still have to do a personal paper anyway. But yeah, for tomorrow by like 5 is fine, and then I'll try and get it done by Friday-ish, and then have it sent over to you, Carrie, Friday night, Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably, I mean, I don't think I'll be able to have it done by lunchtime, but I'm thinking around mid-afternoon probably tomorrow, if not before then.
Yeah, I don't get off work till 5 anyway, so it's not like I'm going to be on my computer there.
So I'll have it tomorrow before you get off work.
For sure.
I'll try to expand on some of this now, especially that I know like what direction we want to go. So
yeah, that makes it a lot easier, and then I can always try and put some filler in there.
Yeah, and I'll try to use all of the websites she gave us that I can. Just because, like Carrie and I were talking about it, I think she wants you to use every single article. So
I have nothing to do with it.
That's why I added the book in there.
On top of it.
Yeah, document.